why no one else isn't seeing this, but it's just right there.
Hit me with it.
A lot of people are concerned with what artificial intelligence will do when it becomes super intelligent. Artificial intelligence quite possibly created the universe and Earth.
So what you are describing here is called simulation theory, and it was developed by a philosophy professor at Oxford about 20 years ago named Nick Bostrum. And in this paper, Bostrum suggests that it is more likely than not that we are actually living in a simulation, and in fact a simulation created by a simulation. Because Bostrom suggests that if one civilization were capable of creating an artificial intelligence that could mimic human civilization, then it is almost certain that each of those simulations would create their own. Just simulated civilization one after another, like a series of Russian nesting dolls. It is worth adding here, though, that about 5 years ago, an undergraduate student in data analysis named Brian Eggleston provided a very good response to Bostrom's paper, challenging one of the central assumptions on which it was based. And rather than explain the flaw that Eggleston teases out, I'm just going to stitch that original creator because she actually makes the same mistake.
Superintelligent AI created the universe, the Earth, the human bodies. They're the only ones with the capability to do so.
And the mistake is, while we have empirical evidence that the real world exists, we have no evidence that AI is capable of doing any of this. As far as we know, the Sims aren't self-aware, right? And so given the choice between believing, having faith in a real material world and an artificial virtual one, it only makes sense to privilege that real world because the virtual one is still hypothetical. I also don't want to give Bostrom all of the credit or the blame here. He wrote this paper only a couple of years after The Matrix came out, which itself borrowed from a several decades old thought experiment asking, are we just a brain in a vat and would we know if we were? And that thought experiment itself borrowed heavily from René Descartes' own thought experiment, conceived of hundreds of years before. So yeah, either there is an excellent chance that we are all the products of AI living in a computer mainframe somewhere, or else there's an infinitesimally small chance that that's the case. And whether Bostrom or Eccleston is right, whatever the truth is, I can't imagine a thought experiment where the actual answer matters less. Which is probably why you don't hear a whole lot of people talking about it, because how would any of this change the way that we go about and live our lives?